what we're gonna do is like a little triple heart because I wanted to do a animal print heart. I hope I have enough. This is all I had left of this print, and I totally wanted to use it, but we're gonna paint a little black on the background so that if we don't have enough, if we don't have enough of the foil, it'll still show a little black background. And so I wanted to do is it cutting out? Wanted to do an animal print, but I also wanted to do a glass heart, and I thought, well, let's just do it all, right? Let's just do it all. So I think what I'm gonna do first, real quick, is paint trying to see if y'all can tell I'm frazzled. Yes, that's hooked up. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put a fresh coat of white. Is it frozen? Not frozen on my end. I'm gonna put a quick fresh coat of white on this canvas so we have a nice clean slate. Oh, Catherine says that Craft Paint and Master's Touch are on sale this week. So that means tomorrow I'm gonna have to make a trip to the Hobby Lobby. This is just regular white art craft paint. It's Anita's white. So, and this is an 8x10 canvas. So I just want to get a fresh coat on here so that we have a nice clean background for our hearts. So, oh, what makes you mad, Judy? Don't be mad. There ain't no being mad up in here. Judy's my aunt, for all you guys who didn't know. Thank you for the sprinkles. There's no getting mad in art. Okay, so we're nice and clean here. So now I'm gonna just really quick hit it with, let me close the top on my white. I don't want that going anywhere. I'm gonna hit it with my heat gun just to get it dry so we can move on. Tammy, no. If you do a resin paint party, you cannot let them take them until the next day because they're going to be drippy and sticky. And when I did paint parties when I was living in Georgia, I would do the party and then they could come and pick their art up the next day. That's how I work that because, you know, things can shift when the resin's wet. Thank you for the stars, Becky. If it gets shifted around, the glass can shift, the resin can move around, so I would not recommend that. You need to do it where they can have a place to pick it up the next day. Almost there. Woo. Okay, so now that's nice and clean. My trip was so exhausting, y'all. I have never seen so much merchandise in my entire life. There were so many beautiful things. So many things I wanted to buy. But for the most part, I was on a looky-look tour. And I'm gonna buy for my store sometime this month. Okay, so we're doing a heart trio. So I'm gonna tape down. See, the heat makes my thingy curl. Krylon paint on sale at Hobby Lobby, she say. Let me find my tape. I got too much on my desk. I've been busy today. Hello, Missouri. Maureen, what is the weather in Palm City? So I'm gonna just get my tracer fixed where I want it. And I'm gonna tape it down so it doesn't wiggle. Those cow skulls were awesome, weren't they? Those things were at Buc-ee's in Alabama. And I about fainted when I saw them. I thought they were so stinking cute. and they were everywhere. I bet they had 20 of those things. All right, so I'm just gonna tuck my graphite paper in and really lightly trace. I wanna make sure it stays still. I'm gonna really lightly just trace around my heart. I'm not gonna worry about it being perfect because nobody's hearts are perfect, right? That was a double innuendo. All right, so we're just gonna do 3 cute little hearts. Boom, they're all there. Woohoo! Yes, the skulls were crazy. Yeah, I'm not showing that I'm freezing, so it might be your internet, it might be Facebook, it might be a many number of things, but I'm showing good to go on my side, so get that off. So this is just 3 hearts stacked on top of each other. Oh no, Maureen's got a sweater on. I had to wear a parka. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is paint my hearts, okay? So I know on this bigger one, I want to do my animal print. And so that is, because I'm doing animal print, it is, Rima, because I'm doing animal print, I want to paint it black too. And the size has to have time to dry. What I do with it, there it is. The size also has time to dry, so I'm gonna start on my black heart first. So I got some black acrylic paint. Hello, Rhode Island. I know it's cold there. Let me get the crusty off. So we'll put a little black on my palette, and we're just gonna do a black background so that if by chance I don't have enough foil, it will be all right because I'll have something underneath that will coordinate with what we're doing. So the big heart, I'm gonna go ahead and paint black. And I'm not trying to be perfect. I couldn't if I tried. So yeah, we got stuck. We got our flight canceled. We were in Atlanta at the market, and you know, there's gonna be a ½ inch of snow here in the South. So they canceled everything. They canceled my flights. And then I knew it wasn't bad. So I had to rent a car to get home or stay another night in a $280 a night hotel. So I chose to drive. I chose to take my chances on the road. So thank you guys for sharing or sprinkling. I guess I said the wrong word. Facebook. Thank you for the stars, Cheryl. So I'm gonna just make sure I get this bigger one started because it's got more layers and is gonna take a little longer to do. So are y'all surprised to see me on a Tuesday? Meat trays, that's an excellent idea. The problem for me with that, Deborah, is I don't cook. I do not. I mean, I do cook. I can cook, but I live alone. And for the most part, I'm either eating alone or I'm eating with the friend boy. And we just go out to dinner all the time, as bad as that sounds. I'm trying to get around this other heart, which is going to be red. I need a smaller, more nice brush. Oh my goodness, what is 40 centimeters in inches? Because we're Americans and we can't figure that out for ourselves. They gonna teach us centimeters. I always have to use the Google if I want to know how much is in a centimeter or a millimeter or something like that. You're not that smart here. I'm getting a new brush because I need a finer line around that heart. So let's see, this is gonna be my red heart. So I wanna go carefully around. Ooh. Hey, Becky from Ohio. So yeah, it did snow 12 plus 3. So it did snow here in the Mid-South, the Memphis area, and it snowed probably 2 inches. And it was gone in 5 minutes. You know, it just hasn't been hot enough for any snow accumulation to stick to the ground. So I knew I was safe to escape Hotlanta. Hey, Tampa, what is the weather there, Jenny? We're talking about weather because I am a spring and summer girl, and I am not pleased with the temperatures. Oh, Rima, that's funny. When I sing. You really don't want me to sing. Not real singing. That's some scary stuff right there. So I'm trying to be careful and not get too out of line with my heart. 24 inches. Deborah, 24 inches? What do you do when it's 24 inches of snow on the ground? Oh! Just stay in the house? If we got 2 feet of snow in Memphis, nobody would leave their house until every bit of it was gone. It would lock up the city. Seriously, not even kidding. All right, so now I'm gonna let that dry. While that's drying, I'm gonna move on to the center heart, which I'm gonna paint red. North Carolina is 46. Wow. 40 in Florida. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to put a little bit of this cherry red, and I'm going to paint my center heart with the cherry red. And as soon go skiing. That's a good. There you go. I'm too scared to do stuff like that. I'm a wimp. So we're going to get some red paint on. Yeah, I hold my mouth right when I'm going around the edges so I don't mess up, because when it's cold, my arthritis is a bear. Seriously, I can barely function with my hands when it's super cold. My wrists are starting to feel arthritis as well, so I have to like hold my mouth right and be really quiet while I am hitting that outside line. So I don't mess up. All right, so we'll fill this in. I almost put that in the black. 8 by 10. The canvas is an 8 by 10. So I am going to wiggle down all the way. Then we'll go around this third heart. Having an old lady hot flash again. So yeah, I saw so many beautiful things and so many people when I was in Atlanta. It was crazy. I saw a lot of stuff, and it's overwhelming because you see a different version of the same thing in everywhere you go, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to buy. I don't know what to pick. I don't know what, yeah, it's just crazy overwhelming. And I have been to market before. It's been a few years, and I don't remember feeling so overwhelmed when I was there last. Oh no. Well, I'm glad you're getting your cast off, Denise. Yeah, I don't remember being so overwhelmed, but you know, when I went last time, I went with somebody who had a store. I didn't have a store of my own, so there wasn't as much on the line, and it's really super hard to make a decision that way under so much pressure. Oh my goodness, Sandra. No. What in the world? We're all getting old and falling apart. Yeah, my wrist started hurting recently. I need to fill that black in. My wrist started hurting recently with arthritis because I'm just eat up with it. Let me correct this black a little. Now, Ashley, I have no idea. I went so many places while I was there in the market. I went so many different places. I couldn't tell you where I went and where I didn't. It was crazy. So if you're talking about a store in the market, I have no idea. Okay, this last one we're gonna do in blue. And I'm actually gonna use, trying to decide. I think I'm gonna use a metallic because I don't have, I'm gonna use this. This will work. So I'm gonna use this blue. This is Folk Arts Aqua. And I know it seems crazy and I hope it works out, but this is how it is in my head. So we're going to canvas with it. We're gonna do that third heart, in Aqua. Oh, I went to the Atlanta wholesale market this past weekend. They have like twice a year, 3 times a year maybe. If you have a store or have a wholesale license, you can go and purchase at the mart. It's I think Atlanta might be the biggest mart in the country. They have them in Dallas, they have them in Vegas, but that's where I went to find things to sell in my store. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna hold my mouth right while I bump up next to that red. Yes, I'm loving this already. Are y'all digging the aqua? Y'all liking that? We're gonna put glass on the blue. And we're going to put more paint on some dots on the red one. And on the black one, we are going to do foil, which is gonna be super fun. And let me hold my mouth right again. So we are still doing our Wednesday live tomorrow, so don't forget about that. We go live every Wednesday, or almost every Wednesday. Sometimes I have hiccups, but we go live on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. And we will still be doing one more. I always say one more. This is the last one, and rarely it is, but we are going to be doing one more cute little Valentine's goodie tomorrow. So I hope you guys will join us. This canvas is kind of bumpy. I think, since COVID and people are kind of cutting corners on their products, some of these canvases come back icky. Okay, so I do need a second coat of red. I think the blue is going to be okay, but I need to get my black dry because we're doing, thank you, Crystal. We're going to be doing foil, and I need to get my size on and allow that to dry without force drying it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this black with my heat gun and get it dry so that I can add the size. Yeah, Amy, I'm sorry. I just felt like painting something. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I have so many fun and just so many fun Valentine's heart love kind of things in my head. I just need to get them out. And so I thought, well, why not, right? Kathy, you're going to need to talk to Sherry. She is our tech community manager. So you'll need to email her at info Hang on, I'm trying to get this open. info@artshattered.com, and she will get you fixed up, okay? So email Sherry at info, I-N-F-O. I can't get this open. Info at, thank you, Catherine. Info at Art Shattered or the Shattered Circle, either one works, .com. So, and she will get you taken care of. Okay, so this is foil size. It is kind of like the glue that keeps this foil, or that transfers this foil to your canvas. Okay, so it's foil size, and I'm gonna use that. It goes on kind of white, especially on black, and then it dries clear, and I'm looking for the right brush to apply this. Let's see. All right, so I am going to just put on this size, and you can see it kind of is white, cloudy looking. So I'm going to turn this upside down. We're going to get this on so that it can start tacking up while we work on our other hearts. That way we're not here all night. So you need a nice good coat, and you cannot force this dry. It needs to dry on its own. Am I correct, Rima, in that you really need to let it dry? Crystal, I have this page, and I have a free art group where it's just for all artists, but I also have a private group that is for members of my paid community. So ooh, this is really the best place to find me. And if you want to show off your art, probably my free page, and I'll post the link to that when we're done here. Okay, this is foil size. This is kind of like the glue that adheres the foil, the beautiful foil we're going to use, to our canvas. And Rima, who is on here right now, Rima Bashara, you can see her chitty-chatting amongst, is who I purchased my foils and my size from. So if you would like to drop your link, Rima, so that people can purchase some foils and size from you, that would be fantastical. So feel free, Miss Reams, to add that in. And when we're done, I will add it to the top as well. So this, I'm just tracing around the black with my size, my glue, adhesive, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same. And I'm going to make sure I have a few spots that are touchy, I'm not sure of. And then we're going to let that sit while I work on the other hearts. So we'll let that sit and dry. You're welcome, Miss Remy. So let's put the top on this. And while we're letting that dry, we're going to go over our red heart again with our red heart brush. That's got some blue on it. It's called Size Adhesive, Deb, and it is made specifically for transferring the foil onto your canvas. Rima has it in her store. Her link is posted. All right, so I'm gonna real quick put a second coat of red, and let me add some more red to my palette because I'm probably gonna work wet on wet. Let me add some more red, and then I'm also gonna add a smidge of dragon fruit, pink, and Just a drop. Come on. Boom. And also a smidge of white, so we can dress up our red heart a little bit. We can't have our red heart being plain and the others being so fancy. So we'll get our red on. And then we'll add a little fluff to it. All right, I gotta be very careful going around this edge so I don't get into my blue with my shaky hand. All right, and I'm gonna go around the outside edge, and then we're gonna add a little fun. All right, and I wanna get this second coat of red on expeditiously because I want to work wet on wet with my next color. So I'm going to pull some of that over. So now I'm going to go into my pink. And I'm just going to get a teeny bit of this dragon fruit pink on my brush. And we're just going to add some pink to one side. I blended that in too much. Let me offload some. We're gonna add a little bit of pink to one side of this heart. And let me get some right here. Then I'm gonna rinse that off, and I'm gonna do a little bit of white on the other side once I get my red on. So we'll go into our red, we'll get this side completed. Notice I'm starting in the middle because the color I want to add to the outer edge of the heart, and I do want it to be wet still when I do that. So if I do the middle part of my heart, then I don't have to rush so much to stay wet. Let me turn this a little. Does that make sense at all? Uh-oh, Crystal. Feel better. So now we'll get that outside edge. And while that red is still wet, I'm going to offload onto a paper towel. I'm going to go into my white. And I'm going to add just a smidge of white on that side. And just like that. All right, I'm going to do one more thing to this red one, then we'll move to the blue. Okay, so where the red and the blue are touching, there's going to be, and you know, this is like totally optional, okay? But where it touches, it's going to create a shadow. So I'm just going to make a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to get a little bit of that black on my brush, and I'm just going to come around. That was too much. I'm just going to come around the outside edge. And my red was dry, so there you go. Come around that outside edge and create that little bit of a shadow casting on the red heart from the blue one. What do you think about that? There we go. So check this out. Pretty cool. So now I think our blue heart is okay because we're putting glass. We're going to use blue glass on our blue heart. This is not quite dry yet. So while we wait, I'm going to take my little graphic pen. This is my favorite pen ever. And I'm just going to outline this blue heart. Don't worry about doing it in the middle because it's not going to show. And glass is going to cover up some of this as well too. But I do want just to have a few little markings. So we'll do a little there. And I'm going to hit this red heart. I'm going to try to avoid that. I'm going to hit the red heart on the outside with my blow dryer. My heat gun. Judy, have you tried logging off and logging back on? That might work for you. So now I can do the outside edge of this, and I like to just make quick little marks, and then we'll do a couple of lines, and we'll do here too. Wait and do that after the foil is done. I have one little spot that's not quite dry. So thank you for the stars, Doris and Charlotte. I appreciate that. So we're gonna just, I don't wanna force it dry. So we're gonna just sit for a few minutes and chat. And I'll answer a few questions while we're waiting on that one little spot to dry. Because if I try to do the foil over that little wet spot, it's gonna mess it up. And I don't have enough foil of this for a mess up. So the pen that I'm using, Deb, is a Master's Touch. That's a Hobby Lobby brown, and it's called Graphic 0.5 needle pen. Okay, Hobby Lobby in the art department, not the crafts. Okay, not crafts, but the arts department where you buy pens and paintbrushes and stuff. Okay, somebody posted it, Amy. It was posted a few minutes ago, so scroll up and to get Rima's link, and at the end of this live, I will also add it to the top. So give us some grace. Still, want that to dry. Still, I can still see the white, so we're gonna let that dry. This is not, so I think I'm gonna start on this side. What I'm gonna do, let me find my stiff brush. Let me get my, I think this brush will do, but I'm gonna get a palette knife too. So what I wanna do is, you're just gonna lay this, thank you, Rima. You're gonna lay your foil design up onto your piece. I'm gonna try to avoid that area for now. So I'm just gonna line up, because that's a hard edge. I'm gonna line it up with the hard edge of my heart, and I'm gonna press down. I'm gonna just stay in my lane because that's still wet. I'm actually going to, nope, I'm not gonna cut it because I don't have my scissors. But I'm gonna take this brush, and where I have it laid down, I'm gonna scrub down. Actually gonna, and because canvases are so porous, you really have to scrub to get that foil on sometimes. So I'm gonna use my palette knife to scrub down and make sure it's on really nicely. You can kind of see the texture of the canvas through. Okay, oh my goodness, I need more. I can tell because I can still see some of the foil on the other side. So I'm gonna use my finger and try to scrub all that delicious goodness off onto my canvas. So we have a nice transfer. It's better. Hang on. All right, so you can see that I've transferred just that one section. Pretty cool. Put the hairdryer on top of the foil. Rima. All right, I'm gonna do this and place that right there. Is that what you mean, Rima? Put the hairdryer after I put the foil on? Rima's our resident foil expert. I defer to her always. Heat it up. I'm gonna try that. Okay. It is cold. Let's see. Oh, shoot. All right, let's see. Oh, Rima, that worked perfectly. That is gorgeous. All right, I see a little spot of mist right here. I'm just gonna use my fingernail. That. Look at that. Look, so we're just gonna keep patching away. Normally, I would just lay a whole section of foil down and do it like that, but I've like made a Christmas ball right in the middle of my foil and messed it up. So I'm having to kind of do some patchwork, get it all on. So we'll do this section. We'll heat it up a little. Oh, that is transferring so well. Oh my goodness. So now I have one little section left. Yay. I had enough. It's still a little warm. Oh, yeah, I'm good. Oh, look, I had a smidgy left for something minor. All right, I'm going to get that goo off. And look, our first heart is done. Super cute. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go around that as well. And I'm not going to be going on the black part. I'm going to be on the outer edge, just making some strokes. Make a little notch. It just gives it that little bit of extra something in my opinion. All right, so the next thing, so our top one is finished. Cute, cute, cute. So on this one, I want dots, and I'm going to try to use the underside of my pen. Normally, I use like the end of a paintbrush because, but these are too small. I want bigger dots. So I am literally going to use the end of my pen, because that's like a 1/4 inch dot. And I'm going to go into my whites. And I'm going to make a dot or two. That's terrible. It's because the pen's icky. So I'm going to make some dots. Don't worry if they're not perfect, because I sure am not. I should have just painted them. All right, let me do that. Get a round brush. I actually have a dot brush, but it's too big for this particular project. So watch this. I'm just going to paint on my dots. And my dot brush is big. I need a smaller version, obviously. Love this foil, Rima. I'm gonna come down here. Now, what I want to do is paint a partial dot. So I'm gonna grab a piece of paper and try to not get the rest of the dot where I don't want it. So we'll do like this. Partial dot. And the glass is going there too, so it'll be all right. And I think I'm done. All right, I'm actually going to clean that up a little because I'm a little bit anal and I have to. Hey, Deb, thank you. Just something fun. Okay, so I'm gonna hit these with the blow dryer real quick. Then we're gonna add a little glass to this heart, and then we will resin. We'll get on with that. Oh, that's a great idea, Catherine. Yeah, I need to get some dotting tools. Just hang on. I need to double down on the dots. I always forget. You know, it's like right now I'm thinking, yeah, I need to, the one I have is probably this big. I need to get some new ones, and then by the time I'm done here, I won't even have remembered any of that. Dots will not be on my mind. That's an age thing. So maybe somebody message me. Maybe somebody message me. Let me know to get some dots. Thank you. All right, so those look pretty cute. So on my blue heart, just to keep, I love it too, Deb, just to keep myself in line, I'm gonna add a little bit of my glue all the way around the inside edge of my blue heart, just to help keep me in line. This is not necessary. You don't have to do this. This is Aleene's clear tacky glue. Not 100% necessary at all. Okay? Is my favorite too. That's why I only have a ½ inch of it left. So, this is a dark azuria, which is a mirrored reflective glass. And so it's kind of that coastal blue on one side and mirrored on the other. And so I'm going to place a few pieces because I do want to make sure I have like a point down at the bottom. And I'm going to eliminate some of the bigger ones. And we're just gonna pile up some glass. That's a good one for a curve. We're just gonna pile up some glass inside our heart. I think I got one I really, ooh, this one's pretty. Look at that. I think I'll do that right there up against that white. Kind of looking for curves to follow my heart curve, and then we'll dump. Then we'll dump. One more. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is just dump. Okay, I'm just gonna pile it on and then kind of push it around where I want it to be. Move it. Wiggle it. Finagle it, all those things. I glued into his job right there. We'll add a little more. I like a thick layer. I don't want to just lay on and puzzle piece on small bits. I do like it to be really nice and dimensional. So 1 second. So I think market started on Monday and ran through Sunday. We left Sunday morning to avoid the snow rush. So I was overwhelmed anyway. I was losing my mind. There was so much to see that I could not function. My ADD was strong while we were there. It was like, oh my goodness, I could not function. So I'm just gonna keep piling up till it's full and kind of looks like I want it to look. I want it to be really nice and dimensional. Get back where you belong. A few more little nuggets over here. Little bitty pieces, stack them up. Stack them up. So it's nice and fat. And voila, I think we're done. Think we're done. Let me put these pieces, these big old chunks, back in this bag. Again, this was Azuria Reflective that we used. And I'm gonna grab my blocks because now we are ready to rumble. Or resin, whichever. So I'm gonna elevate my canvas. I'm gonna get that out of my way. And I'm gonna elevate my canvas with my blocks. And we are going to, we're gonna resin. I just leave them the way they are. I like some of the mirrored to show and some of the blue to show. I don't stress about it. I just literally kind of leave it to whatever happens. So I'm gonna mix 1 ounce of resin. I really should mix more. I'm actually gonna mix 2 ounces because I have a couple of pieces behind me I need to put some resin on. That's probably not going to be enough for what I'm doing behind me too, but we're gonna start with that. So I'm gonna put a little mark on this cup at the 1 ounce line so I don't over pour. And same over here, 1 ounce line, because it's hard to see those embossed little pieces. Is this not adorable? Super cute. Okay, let me get my gloves on. Then we're gonna pour our resin. I use art resin exclusively. You can get art resin at Hobby Lobby in the art department. You can get art resin on Amazon, and you can buy art resin from artresin.com. So I use it exclusively. So I'm gonna get my resin behind me. I still haven't, you can see, I still haven't poured it into my smaller containers because I've just been crazy. But thank you for the stars, Irene. So I'm gonna put 1 ounce of resin in this cup. And then when we're done, anybody who wants to stay while I resin over the pieces behind me, you're welcome to stay. I can just pull them up front and 1 more drop. These are some pieces that I refreshed, and I'll tell you about them as we go. Anybody who wants to hang around. So there is my hardener. I'm gonna move that over there. Then we'll do the resin. My gloves are too big and they're driving me crazy. I like them tight. So 1 ounce of this, then we'll pour into the other bigger cup and mix it up. Come on, Daddy. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now I have this cup that I will probably use for a month or 2. It just keeps getting thicker and thicker and bigger and bigger. So what I'm gonna do is take my resin and pour it into my bigger cup. Scrape it all out. Make sure you get it all. You don't wanna leave any behind, and create a mist measurement. Get it all in there. And I'm gonna set this here. And let's see, give me 1 second. I need, oops, hang on. Trying to unplug my heat gun and plug in my phone because it's saying low battery. And we don't want to die right in the middle. All right, so I'm going to take my hardener. We'll pour that in. And then we're going to mix this. Once I get it all in here, we're going to mix for 3 minutes. We're going to stir gently. We're not going to beat it to death. We're going to stir it and scrape all the sides. Make sure it's nice and mixed so that it dries and cures properly. And I just threw that on the ground. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Why is it not doing? Hang loose. Uh-huh. All right. I plugged in, so I'm not sure why it said low battery still. So I'm gonna stir for 3 minutes. Catherine, if you can help me out. I'm gonna stir for 3 minutes, and while I'm stirring, look how big these gloves are. Ugh. While I'm stirring, anybody who has a question about anything, I'd be glad to answer, because this is 3 minutes of prime time. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the stars. Thanks for supporting my little baby store. And don't forget, yes, so Catherine is posting Rima's page, her website. And that's where you can buy the foils and the foil size from Miss Rima. Thank you, Maureen. Maureen, did you get my email or my message today about your package? Lord, y'all, the post office is killing me. I did decide on what I'm going to do tomorrow, and I can tell you right now, it's going to be a heart. No, we're not doing the abstract tomorrow night, Becky. Tomorrow night, we're doing the Mardi Gras. Abstract is next month. So I'm scraping the bottom of my cup to make sure I don't leave anything down there that's unmixed. I think I posted it, Maureen, on the Facebook page where I was asking about anybody who was having issues on the Shattered Circle page. So make sure you go check that out. Yeah, the post office is driving us all crazy. You know, it's almost a month since Christmas. Don't be using that excuse anymore. Don't be doing it. I have rose gold. We did pack glass today and take an inventory. So if it's showing 0 online, which I don't think it is, we will update that this afternoon. Excuse me. No, we're not doing a Mardi Gras heart. I was like doubling up on my conversation. We're doing a heart tomorrow night right here on this page, our normal Wednesday fun. We're doing Mardi Gras in my private group on Thursday. Yay, Kathy. Okay, Charlotte, if you don't mind, if you're a member and you purchase glass from me and it's been 10 days or more since you purchased glass, 10 days or more, I want you to go to our private group page and post in that thread, okay? I'm trying to keep everything in one place so that I can, thank you, Catherine. I'm trying to keep everything in one place so that I can go down the row and make sure I don't miss anything. And the emails have like going back and forth has been crazy because we have a lot of packages missing, and it's just easier to keep up with if it's on the page, so I can go down and I can keep up with what have said to who and you know who's been resolved. But the first order of business should be to call your local post office. So I had one of my members who today she called her post office, then I called my post office today, then I filed a missing mail report, and suddenly it appears. And that happens a lot. So you could ask anybody who's purchased glass from me. It seems like the minute you call the post office and start raging about it, not raging, I'm not telling you to rage, start fussing at them about it, suddenly the package magically appears. So your first order of business should be to contact your local post office because I don't know why they like to hold on to them for a minute. All right, so I'm going to dump some of that resin. As you can see, I put resin on my glass first. And so I dumped a little resin on the rest of the part, on the rest of the canvas. And now I'm just going to pull. I'm just going to use my hands. And I'm going to pull that resin to the edge. And I'll tell you, well, I won't be able to tell you how much. I mixed 2 ounces of resin. And I'm going to say this probably has taken between 1/2 and 3/4. I won't be able to tell you exactly. I can tell you, though, that my foil is shedding. Little dust particles from my foil because I didn't brush it off properly. So we're going to go with it. So I'm just pulling to the edge. Make sure it's covered all the way. And to mask my issue of foil debris. Oh my goodness, I'm packaged from November. I am going to add some seed beads. First, I'm going to take this glove off that is saturated with resin. I'm going to try to pick out some of this debris that is excessive. So it's really just, it kind of looks like glitter. And I don't want to have to deal with every bit of it, so I'm going to make it look like it was supposed to be there. It's very glittery, but I do have some other debris I'm trying to get out. Thank you, Maureen. So I'm going to heat this up first. I'm going to take this glove off. It's not yucky, so I can use it. And I am going to hit it with my heat. You can use your heat gun. I just unplugged mine to plug in my phone. So I'm going to use my torch. You can use like a creme brulee torch or a propane torch like what I'm using. You can use a heat gun. A blow dryer will do on a pinch. But this is super, super cute. And after I torch it and pop all those bubbles, I'm going to grab a little bit of these seed beads, and this is like the clear seed beads, and I am going to smatter a few around my canvas. So I'm going to put them in my hand because I'm not doing myself any good trying to dig them out of that cup with my fingers. Now, the reason I do my seed beads after I resin is because these seed beads are hard to resin around. And so the best thing to do, unless you're gluing them down, the best thing to do to apply them is apply them at the end. But you don't want, because they're not completely covered with resin, you don't want to burn them by hitting them with your heat gun because they're not 100% covered. They're just laying on top. So make sure you heat first, and we'll throw a few in there. Watch this. We'll jazz up this little heart a little. And voila. Done. What do you guys think of that? So stinking cute. Look. Love it. Let me show you a close up. There is our foil and our red polka dots. Love that. Is that not cute? These aren't pencil marks. These are pen marks that I applied intentionally. That's obviously an optional thing. You don't have to trace around your hearts. You can just leave them painted or whatever, but I did that intentionally. So that is our cute little heart trio. So we're done with this. If you're a member of the Shattered Circle, we will be putting the tracer and colors that we use for this in the Shattered Circle guides tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. But if you want to stick around, I do have a few more pieces that I need to resin, and I'm going to do them right here. And I'll tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So this is my first piece I need to resin. And this is a piece I did a couple years ago. This is a piece that has a gold metallic edge. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to dump my glass. It has a gold metallic edge. Then I painted it white. Then I painted a real pretty gold heart right in the middle. I don't know if you can even see it through the glass, but I painted a gold heart on there, and it got bumped up and bumped around in the middle of my move, and it got a little beat up, so I cleaned it up a little bit. Thank you. I cleaned it up a little bit, and I put some rose gold glass on the heart, and I'm going to resin that. Hey, Doris. So I'm going to put that one aside. We'll resin that. And here's a piece that I did. This one, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but this is a piece I did that also had issues. It got beat up, and it actually was, I found it in a box of stuff that had been packed away for like 2.5 years. And it had started to yellow because it was in a box in my garage. It had started to yellow around the edge. So here's what I did. I took spray paint and I spray painted all around the outside and inside. And then I added, on top of the pink glass that was already here, I added a little bit more of the rose gold, which is this color, okay? So I added a little bit of rose gold on top. So I'm gonna re-resin over these two pieces. So I think I have enough for this one, maybe not both. So I'm gonna just start with this one first with these massive man gloves. Ugh. I'll put my gloves back on and we'll re-resin this piece. Yes, these were already resined. They were finished pieces that this one got packed away in a box and started turning yellow around one edge. So I just revamped it, basically is what I did. All right, so I scuffed it around the outside and inside with a little bit of a Scotch-Brite or sandpaper, spray painted over it, and then added more glass. So I am going to just drizzle right back over the top of my glass. So yeah, even if you have a piece that maybe you used the wrong resin and it yellowed, or if you found a piece that got tucked away somewhere and it got hot, and sometimes they'll really rush yellow if they get super hot or get packed away in the dark, you can pretty much almost always fix them somehow, some way. I've never ditched a piece because it was starting to yellow or amber. I always try to save them first. And this one, I think both of these were a pretty good save. We'll be able to tell as soon as we pour this and as soon as somebody buys it. So basically spray paint, gold spray paint saved the day on this one. Hey, y'all. So I'm just redoing the resin over where I applied more glass. This already had pink glass on it, but I added some extra because my spray paints, I should have like taped over my glass before I spray painted, but you know how we are. Sometimes we think, oh, I got this. I can do this without help. And I got a little too much spray paint on my glass. And that was a valuable lesson learned. I won't do that again. But so I just added a little more glass on top of it just to fix it up. So no big deal. I've done resin with bowls bunches of times. Matter of fact, I have a bowl behind me that's shaped like a heart that I probably should do something with before Valentine's is over. So there, I've covered all my glass. So now I'm gonna dump a little bit in the middle, and I'm gonna dump some around the edge, and let's see if we have enough to make both of these go. So let's do this. Judith, it's been posted like 5 times, her website. It's been posted a bunch on here, so you might need to scroll up. It's Walls and More by Mimi. Or wait till we're done here, and I'm gonna post it at the top of the page. So right now, I'm just taking that resin I sprinkled on, and I'm spreading it all around the outside edge of my canvas and sealing this gold spray paint really nicely. And got a little too much in the middle, so I'm going to dig a little of that out. These gloves are making me crazy. I got 6 boxes of them. They're all the wrong size. They want to slide right off my hand. Okay. So that is completely covered now. And I need to hit it with my heat gun, but right now I'm going to move it aside. And while I have my hands icky, we're going to do this one. Oh, poo. I lost some glass, but we'll just lay it back in. And we're going to try to use the rest of our resin to finish up this piece. Okay. You guys, it's been posted in this thread. If you're looking for Rima's post or Rima's website, it's been posted in this thread no less than 5 times. I've seen it myself. So scroll up and look for a link. Catherine posted it several times. It's Walls and More by Mimi. So look for that, or if you'll wait till we're done, I'm totally going to post it in the description above. So just give us some grace. So I'm just using the rest of my resin to hit this piece. So now I've taken 2 pieces that shoulda, coulda, woulda, maybe been trash and revamp them so that they're not trash. This one had some bumps and scrapes and a little crack along the bottom and needed some love and care. So we gave it a little love and care, and now it's a brand new piece. So let me scrape that off. Ugh, these gloves. Scrape that off. Pull my glove up because it wants to fall off. I'm just going to wiggle that excess resin and make sure it's covering the entire piece all the way to that edge so we don't have any gaps. So, hang on. Ugh, I'm about to take this glove off and use my hand. That's how bad I hate them. That's how bad this glove is making me crazy. So go right to the edge. So now, hang on, let me twist it. So now I've salvaged 2 pieces of art that were lost in my house, just rediscovered, beat up, banged up, toe up. Yeah, these are terrible. They're just too big. I apparently bought the wrong size, and they're way too big, so I used all of that resin. I'm going to move that cup up there. Just bought them too big for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. So this heart, I'm going to hit it with my heat real quick, I think. And I'm going to scoot it over. And I'm going to hit this one real quick. Pop all those bubbles. And voila. Let me show them to you close up. I'm not even going to say a word. So here is our cute little gold heart. Again, it was messed up, so I spray painted around the outside edges and added a little more glass and re-resined that whole thing. Also, this one is a redo as well. It was one that had gotten beat up and scratched up, so I I cleaned it up. It had a gold heart that had some a gouge in it. I cleaned that up, added a little rose gold glass to that, and she is done as well. I need to elevate that. So these are the 3 pieces that we finished today. Let me show you this one behind me in case you're just getting here. So these were revamps. These are 2 that were messed up and we fixed them. And then here's the one we started earlier and finished today.